I am going to give you a Tai Chi training hack to really level up your Tai Chi ability. You probably have a bunch of these lying around this time of year right now. This champagne bottle is an external object, right? What is internal to me? Internal to me is my own body. It ends with my fingers. So when you hold on to an object, it's external. For internal martial arts, take something that is external and bring it into our body's internal structures. It becomes part of our internal skeleton and structure. I know it seems like, oh, that's not possible, but like think about it. How much do you weigh? I weigh 130 pounds, but I don't feel like I am carrying the weight of 130 pounds. If you cut up all of my body parts, cut off my head, cut off my arms, my torso, my legs, put them on a scale, it's all heavy. But I don't feel that as heavy because it's just me, right? So this is taking something that is outside and bringing it like it is part of you. What we're trying to do is build our internal structure in a way that we integrate the whole body as one integrated unit so that even when we are taking something that is outside of us, it becomes a part of us. So the champagne bottle is such a perfect training tool to learn this because it can enhance all of your Tai Chi principles, your tiger's mouth. So the tiger's mouth, this shape, right? From the fingertips around curve to the thumb, right? When we do our Tai Chi, our hands are always in a tiger's mouth position, no matter what you do. Even in a standing meditation, it's in a tiger's mouth. A lot of people don't really have the tiger mouth shape. It's like the thumb kind of goes out like this. The fingers are really collapsed. The champagne bottle is a wonderful way to develop your tiger's mouth because this wide part of the neck just fits right here. If you take the champagne bottle and put it in your hands, now this is your training to identify, do you have your body's internal structure built where even if you take champagne bottles and put it in your arms, that instead of utilizing your muscles to hold these champagne bottles, now you've put it into your skeleton. It's easy when you keep it close to you. Now, bring your arms out. This is testing your internal structure. My hands don't just end on my fingertips anymore. It's like my arm has extended all the way out to the ends of the champagne bottle, and that's the end of my hand. And if you have built your body's internal structure, you would be able to do that because the whole skeleton would support this. If you haven't built your body's internal structure, then you would need to rely on your muscles to hold it. If you rely on your muscles, then it's not internal anymore, it's external. I don't have big muscles. I have pretty puny arms and upper body strength. There's a common saying that muscles get in the way of your Tai Chi training. Most people rely on their muscles. If you are small framed like me, something like this is really effective training. If you are stronger and have stronger arms, the champagne bottles may not be heavy enough for you to really notice if you're using muscle versus if you're using your internal structure. So maybe if you were big and muscular, get those like magnum champagne bottles. But for me, I find that this is just like the perfect weight, just enough weight to test my structure. Now, I'm going to use Cloud Hands as an example of how the champagne bottles can get you to better understand and improve your structure. There are many different variations of Cloud Hands, right? Go and search YouTube for Tai Chi Cloud Hands, and you will see so many different variations. In our school, we bring the arms up and then turn it around. In some schools, you see that it turns around before it comes up, that the hand rotates. In Sun style, the palms are out this way. In Chen style, it comes across horizontally this way. A common question that I always get is, when do I turn my hand around in Cloud Hands? They're trying to identify that point along the arc that is the correct point to turn the hand. That question means that you haven't actually built that internal structure yet where you feel where the hand would naturally turn along the spiral. If you think about yourself being connected as one integrated unit, there are many different lines of force that flow through the whole body, right? You've got lines of force that run through your pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky, thumb, all throughout the body, along different parts of your body, big toe, right? So many different lines of force that come together. How you move, you should feel that there are different parts of these lines that make the motion happen. Cloud Hands is a perfect way to test this. I'm first going to show Yang style Tai Chi, and this will also answer the question of, where do I turn my hand? If we imagine a circle here, our school's version of Yang style Tai Chi Cloud Hands, the hand is facing us as it comes up, and then the turning of the hand around is after it comes up the half part around, and then it comes down. So it comes up and around. There are other schools where the hand flips a lot earlier. Why do some people turn their hand around one way and some people turn their hand around the other way? What's the right way? What's that point? Like, people want to analyze it with their mind to figure that out. If you use your champagne bottles, when you do it, that will actually answer the question for you. For someone like me who has very little upper body strength, I can't rely on my muscles. I can only rely on the natural motions of the internal architecture and the connection. So if I do Yang style Tai Chi method of Cloud Hands, walking shoulder width apart, this is the easiest way for me to get the champagne bottle around, coming up and then around, bringing that arc around the top. And if I go around the other way, for me, this requires very little arm strength. I don't need big muscles to be able to do this. The internal structure allows me to spiral here, come around the hand, this, for me, is the most effortless way. If I try to do that Cloud Hands and turn my hand earlier, I feel the muscles firing. This is hard. If I try to turn it around here, this is much more effort for me, and I have to use muscle. For many women, we just don't have that same kind of upper body muscular strength. So this is effortless. And we can utilize our internal structure for this. Sun style taiji, the palm faces out the whole way. So it may seem like this is exactly the same as Yang style taiji. The only difference is instead of palm facing you, the palm faces out, but it's actually a completely different force that brings the hand facing out. You may not feel that when you're just waving your hands, but once you bring the champagne bottles into it, then you will feel the difference so much. If you use the Yang style taiji approach and you try to turn the palms face out, this is so hard. It's really heavy. Yang style, you're like this. If you use this same approach and turn the palms face out, you're not using the correct field of force to bring the palms out. Then you're using muscle. In Sun style taiji, we need to turn the palm in the lower arc of the circle. And the energetic feeling is more of a vertical spiral up. So you have this sense of more of a vertical spiral. The energetic field in your body is very different than Yang style, which is a rounder circle, right? So if you just think about how this shape works, where that line of force up your body needs to be, this is different than here. We turn before it comes up, and that energetic is more of a vertical. So the feeling in your body, the line of force feels very different. Right? Chen style, cloud hands, hand position is like this, right? And they are lower squat and the toes point out when they do their cloud hands. I'm not a Chen practitioner, so I don't do that well. So if you try to do Yang style taiji, but bringing it around and out in the Chen style taiji kind of arc, this is all muscle. This, for those of us who don't have a lot of muscle, that's using muscle to do the movement with your feet out, and think about the arc more along a horizontal line. Now, notice in Yang style and also Sun style, when we turn the palm over, if you put the attention in your hands, you'll notice that this part of the hand is really important in that turn. When you make the circle here, the energetic line goes up the pointer finger. But did you notice how in Chen style, once we went out to the side, the energetic line now is around the pinky. So that also informs why the Chen hand is like this. Because the energetic line goes around here. Because it's different. You need to feel where are those energetic flows in the body, how to connect it, so you understand why the hands turn when they do and how they do it. So in other words, try your forms using 2 champagne bottles. Doesn't matter if it's contemporary, or if it's traditional. I want to put to bed this debate on what are valid Tai Chi forms and not valid Tai Chi forms. There's this very common thought that anything contemporary is not valid. Forms don't matter. The only thing that matters is how you do the forms. So the choreography can be whatever you want it to be, whether it was developed 200 years ago or if you just made it up yourself, as long as you understand the energetics of it so that you can find the connection, like no matter what that movement is, you bring it inside your body, even in, something you totally just make up on the spot. Find the internal connection. Bring your whole body together where you can take something that's outside of you, bring it inside of you. Then you're on your way to building your internal structure. And then the best part about using the champagne bottle as a training tool is you can celebrate by opening it up and drinking it afterwards. Happy training, and let me know if you tried it out, if it exposed some structural deficiencies in your form.